If you need to make $10,000 in 30 days, this video will show you exactly what you need to do. The strategies I'm going to share with you are exactly what allow me to make upwards of $1,000 a day in my own consulting business. And by now, I've helped a record number of people to start their own service or consulting business. The first thing I want you to understand is that you need to forget completely about product-based businesses. And there's a very simple reason as to why. You see, back in 2019-2020, I was still a broke high school student. Yet with one of my friends, we decided to try dropshipping because it was marketed as a great business model for beginners, and at the time we just went along with it. We didn't take the time to analyze the business model on a fundamental level and ask ourselves, is this really a beginner-friendly business model? So what we did is that we found a so-called winning product, which is basically a cool, trendy product. Think about fidget spinners, rose bears, and we did that by spying on the competition's top-performing Facebook ads, because we figured if they were spending a lot of money on ads, it's because they were making a lot of money. Otherwise, they wouldn't just keep throwing money out the window. It would make no sense. And so our winning product was a flat squeeze mop. So I built a whole Shopify store around it, and then I created some creatives for Facebook ads, and I remember I clicked on the button to publish the ad, and then I went to the living room to have dinner with my parents. And about 30 minutes later, when I came back to my room, I saw on my phone dozens of WhatsApp notifications from my friend. He was going crazy. He was telling me, look, somebody's buying the product. Dude, just come here. And I was like, what? I thought he was joking. But then I went on to Shopify on my computer and I could see it, he wasn't lying. We had sold one flat squeeze mop for $50. So it just blew my mind. And obviously I knew it was just $50. Most of it wasn't even profit. We'd do nothing with that. It wasn't going to change our lives financially. But in that instant, it made me realize making money online is actually possible. Now, if you remember what I said just a few minutes ago, I told you to stay the hell away from product-based businesses. Dropshipping is a product-based business. So here's exactly what happened next. Facebook ads quickly ate up all of our ad budget. So we spent $200 on ads and we only made $50 by selling one flat squeeze mop. But that's not even the worst part. We also had to cover the price of the product itself, the shipping to the customer, as well as the softwares we used. So in the end, we lost close to $3,000. And that's my problem with businesses like dropshipping or Amazon FBA. They're not suited for beginners, because if you want to get a shot at making that business successful, you need at least $5,000 to more realistically $10,000 to start that business. Because if you're going to use paid ads to get customers, you need a lot of cash to invest. And for most people, they don't have $10,000 just laying there in their bank account. When you're spending money on ads, at first, it's like gambling. You have to be willing to lose that money, ironically. And that's not the only issue with product-based businesses. Profit margins are extremely thin. Typically with dropshipping, it's between 5% to 20%. So even if you made $10,000 with your dropshipping store, it's impressive. $10,000 per month is top 1% income, at least for employees, not for businesses. But guess how much you would keep in profit out of the $10,000 you initially made? Between $500 up to $2,000, and that's before you pay taxes. So you can have your profitable dropshipping store making you $10,000 per month. But if we do the math, you are more broke than somebody working at a fast food joint. Not to mention that if you were to sell a product for $50, if you wanted to make $5,000 per month with that business, you would need to convince 100 people to pay you every month. And that's very difficult to do. And that is exactly why you need to sell services or consulting. It's the best business model, and it's the business model that allowed me to make upwards of $1,000 a day. And I'm still scaling it to this day. Just think about this. If you were to sell a service for $1,000 per month with only 5 clients, you're now making $5,000 per month. And there are typically different ways that you can sell a service or consulting. You can sell a service if you have an expertise around something specific, like maybe you know how to do web design. You could sell that as a service to companies. There's plenty of local businesses, they have horrible websites, they're not even mobile responsive, or worse, they don't even have a website. So if you could make these business owners understand what they're missing out on, how many new potential customers and monthly recurring revenue they're missing out on by not having a website, or having a website but one that's not even optimized for conversions, they would gladly pay you $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000 per month, as long as you're able to give them a clear return on their investment. Now, if you were to do consulting, you would be teaching people how to do something. So to give you a few examples, some of the people I've mentored, they're teaching people how to overcome a porn addiction. Some are helping busy executives to be more productive so they can get things done faster and have more time with their family. And some are also helping others to grow successful e-commerce brands. So you can literally do anything. Now you may wonder, that sounds amazing, because I'd only need a few customers to be able to quit my job and go all in with my business. But can I get started with no skills, no business knowledge, and no experience? Yes, you can, because you can sell any service by leveraging remote contractors. And I know some people personally who do that, and they make multiple 7 figures per year, because the thing that your customers care about is not who provides the service, whether it's you or your your assistant or a remote contractor, they couldn't care less about that. They want an outcome, a transformation. Typically when you sell to businesses, it's going to be more clients, more money, more profit. And you can even dive deeper. Why does the business owner want to make more money? Well, typically, maybe because they want to put their kids in a better school, give them better education, maybe because they want to buy a new sports car, whatever it may be. There's always a deeper reason. But you have to understand that people don't buy deliverables, services, or coaching. People buy a transformation, an outcome. So if you were to follow that model, which some people also call job servicing, your job would be to find clients, close clients, and then you would get a remote contractor to do the work for the customer. In fact, a few of my students, what they do is that they provide video editing services, typically for TikTok creators or entrepreneurs, and they find a client, close the client, and then they use contractors, freelancers that they pay on a monthly basis to do the work for the customers, and they're able to keep most of the profit. This is literally what CEOs from all over the world do. It's even the same business model utilized by Amazon, Booking.com, Airbnb, and Uber. Because what do all of these platforms have in common? They're not the ones directly providing the service. Rather, they connect buyers and consumers, and they're trillion-dollar companies. Most of the products you buy on Amazon, they're not made or sold by Amazon. They're sold by third-party vendors. When you go on Uber to request a ride, you don't care who's driving you to your destination as long as it's somebody who's safe and who knows how to drive. But you don't care that it's the founder or the CEO of Uber. You just want to get to your destination quickly and safely. That's it. That's exactly what Uber provides. It doesn't own any cars. It simply connects drivers looking for work with travelers looking for quick, easy, and cheap rides. Which is why, to help you, I've recorded a free video training in which I'm going to share with you everything I did step by step to make upwards of $1,000 a day with my own consulting business. And I'm also going to reveal the only 3 things you need to focus on if you want to make serious money. I will leave the link in the description below, or you can directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if we can help you to grow your business. Now, something that you need to understand if you genuinely want to make $10,000 and as quickly as possible is that you will be your own worst enemy. If you don't believe me, you think this is some woo-woo mindset bullshit, just leave this video. I don't care. I'm still going to make more money. My clients will still see better success because I'm focused on giving them the best step-by-step how-tos in the industry. The reason I'm telling you this is because it matters. You will hear most successful entrepreneurs talk about mindset, about the way that you view things, because it matters. Growing up in the lower middle class, we often suffered because of lack of money. I can tell you that for a fact. But if my parents had known what wealthy people know, they wouldn't have been struggling financially. They would have been far wealthier themselves. What kept them stuck? It wasn't their work ethic, because they were very hardworking people. It wasn't their intelligence, because they were pretty clever. It was simply that they didn't know what wealthy people know. And because they had plenty of limiting beliefs that were most likely imposed upon them by their surroundings, by their environment, their parents, their teachers growing up, even society itself, they never questioned those beliefs. And I genuinely believe some people have the drive, like they're born with it, to become successful. I'm personally like that. But some people, they just don't have it in them. And that's okay. Not everyone can be a business owner, because even though it comes with a lot of potential gain, you also need to take a lot of risks and work extremely hard with no guarantees of success. And most people are not willing to accept that, so they prefer the safety, or at least the illusion of safety, that comes with having a job and a steady paycheck that they get at the end of the month. But I've seen countless people trade their dreams, their freedom, for a paycheck, for the illusion of safety. Even in the future, more and more jobs are bound to disappear, especially with the rise of AI, with the rise of machines, robots, things like that. For instance, soon we won't have any taxi drivers, and that's why plenty of smart people are starting to talk about universal income, because what's going to happen when half of the population isn't qualified to do any kind of job? There's plenty of extremely talented, smart, hardworking people, yet they are broke and they stay broke for the rest of their lives. And I've been in plenty of courses and training programs myself, and every time something shocked me. How come some people were able to see incredible results while others kept failing again and again? And at first, I was just thinking, oh well, it must be because some people are naturally smarter, more hardworking, more gifted, but that's just lazy thinking. Sure, circumstances do play a part, but you can see lots of success stories of people who started in very shitty situations, people who even started off worse than you. So what's your excuse? And typically, the thing that separates unsuccessful individuals from successful individuals is their mindset. I speak to a lot of people on a weekly basis, and a lot of the time, people have limiting beliefs. They think that they can't succeed because they just can't do the work, they can't stop procrastinating, or they just have so many doubts. They make a limited amount of money and they hold on to it desperately. And I get it, when you're in a scarcity mindset, you don't have much, it's understandable. But if you're not willing to take risks, to go ahead and to try new things, you can't expect a different outcome if you keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, because what got you to where you are won't get you to where you want to be. You can't solve your problems with the same mindset that created them. Building a business is a lot like conquering the world, and every great conqueror will tell you, before you can conquer the world or a nation, first you need to conquer your mind. If you cannot conquer your mind. How can you lead an army? You can't. So to give you an actual example, over 5 years ago, I wanted to start a business, but I was held back by so many fears, so many limiting beliefs, so many doubts, and that held me back for a very, very long time. The first consulting offer I ever tried to sell was performance coaching for entrepreneurs, and at the time I knew for a fact I could have been successful doing that because there was a lot of demand for it in the market. But because I let my fears, my doubts hold me back, I procrastinated, working on my business for 7 months. I didn't even try. And then one day, as I started working with a mentor, he made me realize I needed to become a different version of myself in order to become successful. Because as long as I stayed as I was, nothing would change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And that's when I hit my breaking point. I just told myself, you know what? I can't stay like this. If I stay anxious, scared to do anything, I'm acting like a scared little boy. Successful people don't act like that. If I want to become successful, I need to roll up my sleeves and do the work. And so I grabbed a piece of paper and a pen and I wrote down everything I was afraid to do. And every single day, I forced myself to do at the very least one thing that scared me. And I did that until I felt limitless, like nothing could stop me anymore. So the first thing I did was to force myself to grab my running shoes and to go outside. Because at the time, I was so anxious, I couldn't even leave my parents' house and go for a walk in the neighborhood for months. I know it's pretty pathetic, but I'm telling you the truth. Nowadays, I'm closing $1,000 deals with complete strangers. So if I could go from being such an anxious kid who couldn't even leave his house for months to closing $1,000 deals on the phone with complete strangers, what makes you think you couldn't do better than me? And the thing that's going to make you a lot of money, more money than anything else, after fixing your mindset of course, is to solve painful problems for people. We want you to find a niche, which is a group of people that has a specific problem they need to solve. And because that problem creates a lot of pain, if you could position yourself and your offer as the solution to that problem, people would pay you a lot of money for it. Because whenever you buy something, you're always buying a solution to a problem. Even when you're buying something like, let's say, a Gucci t-shirt or an iPhone, you're not buying just a shirt or just a phone. You're buying social status. You're buying a feeling of being worth more. Otherwise, nobody would buy Ferraris and people would just stick with regular Fiats or Toyotas. So people will only ever give you the money they've worked so hard to earn. People will only ever pay you for your services or coaching if they can clearly see that your offer is the solution to their painful problems. So to give you a few examples, you can help businesses to get more leads. You can help gyms to retain more members or to acquire new members. You can help somebody to overcome an alcohol addiction. You can help busy executives to get more stuff done in less time so they can have more time to spend with their family. And then once you have your niche, you need to become obsessed with understanding your niche. Ideally, you should be able to write a diary from the point of view of your niche because you want to know your niche better than they know themselves. You want to know what keeps them up at night, what makes them unable to fall asleep. You want to know their worst nightmares and their deepest, darkest secrets. So for example, if you are going to help gym owners to get more members, you want to read everything about the subject. You want to really learn how gym owners think, what they want, what problems they're facing, and read all the books, watch all the YouTube videos about how you can help them to fix their problems. Because if you can do that, you'll make so much money, you will never worry about the price of anything ever again, believe me. And that works for every niche. Now for me, I'm in a pretty privileged position because nowadays I help people to start or scale a profitable service or consulting business because that's exactly what I have experience doing. So technically speaking, the best niche to choose is the niche you are a part of because you will know your niche because you are a part of it yourself. Now look, you need to make a choice. You can keep watching YouTube videos on how to build a business, how to make money, but doing that will not make you money. But if you are part of the minority of ambitious individuals who's committed to building a business so you can become financially free, I invite you to check out the free resources in the description below or directly apply to book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you to grow your business. That being said, if you found this video valuable, share it with a friend and together, let's blow up this YouTube channel and spread the message with more people to help them to become financially free. And when this channel reaches 100,000 subscribers, I will give away $10,000.